Hey guys, welcome to the tea with Nicque. Today's tea is some peach green tea that I've been sipping on since this morning because I overworked myself and did not get enough water today. So I'm just gonna finish this cup that's been sitting on my coffee table all day. Now, one of the things that you guys wanted me to talk about was all the controversy going on about the music video for WAP, a song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I did not know that there was any controversy. Honestly, I only know because some of y'all told me, and and somehow my husband knew before me. But basically, this is the criticism of the music video. If you haven't seen it, it's called WAP, W-A-P, which stands for wet ass, obviously, whatever. So some of the controversy, of course, is that the video and the song is explicitly sexual and overly sexualized, and just really like raunchy and not appropriate, and just disgraceful to women showing their bodies in that way. That is degrading. I've seen comments from especially like far right conservative wackos that are like, this is what happens when women are raised without God in their lives. Okay. The second big controversy is that Kylie Jenner made an appearance in the video. She didn't do much. She literally just strutted down a hallway and opened a door and went inside the room. Did absolutely almost nothing. The problem with that is that there are other women featured in this music video, and they're black women of color. One of them is Normani, who is dancing her ass off in this video and is wonderful and beautiful as ever. And people are saying that this is kind of like another example of how black women have to do the absolute most, while it seems like white women have to do less work to be desirable or to be like, badass. And so that's a very interesting view. So I'm gonna start from the bottom of the topics list this time because I want to hit the sexualization part last, because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. So the big cats thing. I did a little bit of research. It looks like, God, people are so fucking loud. Apparently, the cats were edited in to the video, which helps. But there's a lot of awareness risen now because of Tiger King, and now we see what goes on behind the scenes when you get these big cats to like be in music videos or in movies, and how they're exploited and mistreated and then and brutally killed sometimes. And I dare say, I'm sure that this video was shot before Tiger King, before we all had any awareness or a lot of awareness of how this industry works and what's going on. I wonder if these artists really knew the behind the scenes of how these animals are treated as well. So the position I take on this is actually very neutral, because obviously I am all for not mistreating animals, and we do need to do better. I do think that the music video was probably shot before any of the big awareness stuff happened. So hopefully now we know better, we do better. But I think it does help that the cats were edited in. Okay. Now on to Kylie Jenner. And like I said, the controversy here, and I've experienced this too, is that it seems like, as a black woman, you have to perform above and beyond, and you have to be the best in order to be seen as equal with your white counterparts. And people kind of saw Kylie Jenner's cameo as an example of that, because literally all she did was strut down the hallway and open a door. Cardi reached out and gave some comments about that, and apparently she's very close with Kylie Jenner and her family, and she wanted her in the music video just because they're very close and they're very good friends. Cardi then, went on to remark, like, not everything is about race. And she is very right. Not everything is about race. Sometimes it is about, like, hey, I just want you with me because you're my friend. Unfortunately, like, when you're a public figure like Cardi, it's harder to do, like, little personal things like that because everyone is always judging every fucking single thing you do. So I can see how people would have gotten that message out of this. And I do think that's a very interesting illustration. I'll also say that, you never know what's going on in a celebrity's life, and you don't know their relationships. And so I think we only get like a very, very superficial view of who they are and who they know. Like, sometimes we forget, like, they're not your fucking family. Like, you don't know them and you don't know what goes on inside their house. And I think sometimes we project our own expectations and we project our own, like, social justice, thoughts and frustrations, onto public figures. So like I said, again, both sides. I think it's a very interesting illustration of how, all a white girl has to do is, like, walk down the hallway and just be fly, and then Normani is here dancing her ass off. And I think Normani's background has a lot to do with this, because I know that she spoke up a lot about, facing a lot of discrimination and feeling like the odd one out and just complete mistreatment when she was in, was it Fifth Harmony? Whatever the fuck. And so taking that into account, I completely kind of understand where people are coming from. So yeah, context. Now, this is the part that matters the most to me about this whole controversy over this video. It's too sexual. It's too explicitly sexual. It's degrading. Women scantily clad, twerking and shit. Like, this is just, like, disgusting. First of all, it's a Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song. What in the all fuck did you expect the video was gonna be? Okay? What the fuck else did you expect the video to be? Some of you busybodies must have just been waiting Friday night, midnight for that shit to drop so that you could shit on them for what you know they're about to do, which is an explicitly sexual song, okay? And here's the thing. I feel like people feel like they have ownership over women and their bodies. I feel like that's still an old-fashioned notion that we hold and we have to battle every fucking day. You're either too sexual or you're not sexual enough. Like, just the things that I personally get as, like, a very minor public figure, but things I get, like, you should wear glasses more. It makes you look more intelligent. Why do you overline your lips? Oh, and my personal favorite, you should stop cursing so much. I wonder if men get the same fucking treatment as we do when we go out into this industry. I dare say not. I'm just talking from my experience. Like, I produce comedy, and I do curse a lot. But you know what? That's me. Maybe that's not another. Like, maybe another comedian might do it differently, but it's not me. I've never seen anyone criticize Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or whoever for the way that they talk. And I feel like, and it seems like especially men feel like they have some ownership over women's bodies to be able to tell them how they should be. Like, we're always, like, expected to fit some fucking mold of what we should be, of what a woman should be. We haven't grown out of that old-fashioned notion, and it's really fucking annoying. The thing about feminism that people don't fucking get is that feminism, part of it is that, should be that a woman can choose to be whatever the fuck she wants to be. If she wants to be sexually explicit, if that's what empowers her, if her sexual energy is what empowers her, let her fucking be. Make songs about sex. Holy fucking shit. And there's some artists that don't really make songs about that too much. I'm one of them, honestly, and part of that is because I grew up conservative Christian, and there was always this fear of sex that I came up with that was ingrained into my head. And so honestly, I grew up and developed a fear of sex, which is completely unhealthy. We can unpack that in another video. But for my own reasons, because sex really isn't something that inspires me to write songs, and so it's not really in any of my music soon to come. But that's fine, because there's, just like I said, there's more than one way to be a black person. There is more than one fucking way to be a woman. Why are we still expected to be ladylike? Stop cursing. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm a grown woman who pays bills. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And this automatic assumption that goes on in the back of people's minds that thinks that they can tell a woman what to do, as far as these superficial things of, like, wearing makeup, wearing too much makeup, you're not wearing enough makeup, you're being too sexual, you're being not sexual enough. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like it or not, women and men are equal, created equal with equal wills. It seems like men are able to do basically whatever the fuck they want and be whatever persona that they choose to be, with no criticism at all. I have never seen male artists receive this kind of criticism for their very explicit songs. Especially obviously in the hip-hop community. I've never fucking seen that happen, okay? Except for a few think pieces that kind of get lost in the weeds, where we talk about, like, why are women getting objectified in these songs, and why is this still, like, acceptable? Why is Chris Brown still fucking around? Why does Chris Brown still have a career when it's proven that he has assaulted many a woman? Why? But no, that's not important. What's important is that we saw just a little bit too much of Cardi B's titty, and now we're gonna raise hell about it. Get the fuck over yourself. Yes. You get to choose what empowers you as a woman. If it is sex, by all means, bask in it, baby. Do it. Like, talk about your body, talk about your parts, talk about what you want and how you want it. I am fully supportive of you. I'm also supportive if you don't particularly like to talk about yourself in that way, and you find other ways that empowers you. By all means, talk about that, write about that. But there is no one fucking way to be a woman. We need to get out of this way of thinking that women need to be pristine and ladylike. Whatever the fuck ladylike is, which basically means shut the fuck up until you're spoken to, is kind of what it kind of like I think old-timey way translates to. And I think some of that is still seeped into our society now, that we think that this urge to force women to be proper. No. That era is over. At least we're bringing it to a close, I would say. There is more than one way to be a woman, especially as we learn more about gender neutrality, the gender spectrum. There is more than one way to be a woman. There is more than one way to find power, and you have no fucking right to come to a grown woman and tell her how the fuck to present herself, especially when you won't do the same for their male counterparts. If you're not willing to do the same for their male counterparts, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and mind your goddamn business. I have had to tell people this in person. I remember working with a producer who ain't shit, so I'm not working with him anymore. But I remember we were doing a track and he was like, you don't sound how you look. And it turned out to be like he had more of this vision of me being a more sexually charged artist, kind of like Cardi B, like Melly, I think is the name of the artist. When really I'm kind of more of a Jessie Reyes. But the point was, like, in that instance, I wasn't fucking sexual enough. And I'm like, look, man, don't fucking tell me how to be a woman. Don't fucking tell me how to be an artist. Don't tell me what I'm supposed to be. I am what I am, all right? Especially if you ain't paying me to pretend to be somebody else. Get the fuck on. This urge, this compulsion that y'all have to tell us like how to dress and how to act and what we should be because of something that you've cooked up in your head that we should be, based on what our jobs are, based on what color we are, based on, you know, our style. It needs to stop, and you need to shut your fucking mouth. Maybe think about, like, you know, if you whatever you're about to say, if you wouldn't say it to a man, then maybe you should just not fucking say it. That's a really easy test. Like, maybe you should just not fucking say it. I'm so sick and tired of that. I'm so sick and tired of people telling me not to curse. I'm like, the fuck? I'm 27 years old. You will not fucking tell me to curse. I'll curse whenever the fuck I want. As a matter of fact, I'm going, I think I'm going to write a skit for TikTok that is just curse words, just to stick it, and also because it's fun, and because I want to make a point that, like, I have the same rights as a male entertainer to provide humor in my own way by using the same mechanisms available to them, whether it's physical comedy, whether it is cursing. Okay, I am free to do that. If you wouldn't say that to a man, then stay the fuck out of my comment section and keep your opinion to yourself. But I'm going to keep on being me. I'm going to keep on being who I am. For some reason, I think we have, you know, people like Cardi B and whatever, just women that people look up to. I feel like they have this pressure to be a role model to other little girls, which is also something that I don't think we see a lot from male public figures, like expecting them to be a role model for little boys, mostly because I think boys are just allowed to be whatever the fuck they want. But for women public figures, we have to be like role models for little girls, and role models usually means that we don't curse and we cover up, you know, our bodies like Puritans, and like, and we always act a certain way. We're not too loud, you know, we're not too boisterous, and obviously not too sexual. That's horse shit. Because when do we get to live our own lives, okay? Our time as little girls are over. We are women now. When do we as women get to live our truth? And when do we as women get to be ourselves, whoever that is, whether that's, you know, a sexually charged woman, or whether it, you know, it's a quiet introverted woman that would rather not talk about that stuff? When do we get to be our own? Because men seem to be afforded that right. When do we get to be our own person? Because I dare say, you know, for me being a role model means living your life, living your best life the way that you want to live it, unapologetically, and while being a decent person, while doing whatever the fuck you want, whether it's singing about sex, whether it's cursing, and to have little girls look up and see that there are different ways to be a woman. There are different ways to be a successful woman. There are different ways to be an artist. And also, motherfucker, if you are letting your kids listen to WAP, What is your problem? Maybe you should put some parental lock on your TV or YouTube or whatever. Obviously, you're not watching your kids close enough. If they have access to the WAP music video, I dare say that's your fucking responsibility. Take that laptop, iPad, whatever the fuck away from your 7-year-old or whatever. But shut the fuck up about these women's bodies. Okay? And also, like, this is getting old. It's Cardi. It's Cardi B. It's Megan Thee Stallion. They're known for singing about sexually explicit stuff. The fact that this is even a controversy is just proof that y'all are busybodies. And it's pathetic. Okay? So, I know I've rambled a little bit about this, but this is just something that really fucking gets under my skin. Women, ladies, there is no right way to be a woman. If you are sexual, that's okay. If you're not very sexual, that's okay. There is no fucking right or wrong way. The point is that you get to be whatever person you want to be, especially in your fucking adulthood. Are you kidding me? Cardi and Megan and me, we're fucking adults, and people still feel like they can tell us what to do like parents. The fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's it. I had something else and I fucking forgot, but it's okay. I didn't even drink my tea most of the time because I was so heated. Being a role model. Being a role model, like I said, to me, is living your most unapologetic, true life, being the truest form of yourself, whatever that is, because I think people crave realness. I think people crave realness from public figures, especially because a lot of us are told to cover up things about ourselves that we don't like, or things about ourselves that are undesirable, like your sexuality, like your body, changing your hair. I can't scroll through Facebook without seeing an ad for, like, how do you get rid of underarm fucking flab? And of course it's geared towards women. I'm like, oh wow, one more fucking thing to fix about myself. Why do we always have to be fixed? I think being a role model is being 100% who you are unapologetically, so that people can look up to you and see that they can live boldly too. That they have the right to live boldly and loudly if they so choose. Or live quietly. Whatever inspires you, that is okay, and that's what being a role model means to me. Stop telling women what to do. Just stop it. We're grown-ups. We can do what we want. And also, take the iPad away from your fucking 7-year-old that's watching WAP. That's your problem and your fault. Okay? Straight up, 100%. But that's the tea for today. That is the tea. If you like this video, please like it, like actually like it, and then subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok is mostly where I live, and this is where I come to talk shit, and sometimes on Instagram too. All right, I will see you on the next episode of The Tea. Bye-bye, guys.